Hello, everyone, and welcome to MeowMix, the Carolina Panthers podcast. My name is Steven.
My name is Jerry. So let's get into it. Vikings at Carolina here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the injury report. Take it away, Steven.
Injury reports. So Shaq Thompson going to miss another week. Did not practice Wednesday. Did not practice Thursday. Cam Irving full practice both Wednesday and Thursday, so he looks like he's going to be back. CMC limited practice yesterday. Did not practice today. I haven't heard anything about him today.
I heard he was downgraded to doubtful, so most likely not going to play.
Wonder what happened. He must have felt something.
Yeah.
Well, if it's at all even potentially questionable, then don't play him.
I 100% agree. We've realized he is way too important to this team.
Yeah. I wish they'd have just put him on IR. Honestly, don't even let him go out there and practice until he's fully healed. CJ Henderson showing up on the injury report with a shoulder, limited practice both days. And then Kamal Martin, linebacker, concussion protocol. Did not practice. Minnesota's got a lot more. I don't have any updates for them today, but all the following guys did not practice on Wednesday. Ben Ellefson, Madison, their running back, very important to their team. Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, Anthony Barr, Michael Pierce, I guess. Yeah. And Everson Griffin, that's non-injury related. I would imagine most of those guys are going to play. Those are some pretty, Madison, Thielen, Jefferson, Barr. Those are all guys that are pretty important to that team. Then you've got Smith, Marset, wide receiver, limited practice. C.J. Ham, Dalvin Cook, limited practice. Of course, Dalvin Cook missed last week. Harrison Smith and Nick Vigil, both also on the injury report. So, I don't know, have you heard if Cook is slated to play this week?
I believe he is. I believe they are expecting, I read in Fantasy News that they expect him to play. So, I assume he will. But
yeah, either way, I mean, Madison is very good if Dalvin Cook doesn't play. This is going to be one of those games I feel like this. If both play, we could see something similar to what we saw with the Cowboys with Zeke and Pollard.
Them just trying to bully us backwards.
Yeah. Now, Dalvin Cook, different type of running back than Zeke, of course. But both Cook and Madison are really good at catching the ball out of the backfield. So
they're a great tandem. Yeah. I mean, point blank.
They got a lot of really good receivers. Between the receivers and the backs. Thielen and Jefferson are most of the time they're two of the top receivers in the league. Now, Thielen hasn't looked great this year, but Jefferson's looked amazing. I don't know. Let's get into the matchups here. Before that, the Vikings are a 1.5 point favorite. So when did that happen? The Panthers were a 1 point favorite.
I don't know. I just checked right before we came on. Yeah. We just came on air. People have watched the past two games and don't like what they've seen.
Yeah, the Panthers started off as a 1 point favorite at home. So if the Vikings are now 1.5, then maybe that line swung a little bit because of the CMC news.
Yeah, that could be too. I mean, I
easily swing a line 2 points.
Yeah, and the over/under is 46, very similar to last week. I don't even know if I would take that either. This game's gonna be, woo.
Well, last week, what was it, 39?
Yeah,
points, 30. Yeah. So, all right, let's get into the matchups.
All right. So our key matchup, starting off, as always, the Panthers' offensive line. Can they hold up against any pass rush? Any sneeze that is coming towards Sam Darnold? They're giving up 2.8 sacks per game, and he is sacked 7% of his dropbacks. That's not good, guys. Now
that feels low, honestly. I saw 7%, and I was like, oh, well, that doesn't seem too bad considering what I've seen.
I don't have the pressure rate, but I bet you the pressure rate is
20%. 30%.
Yeah. Now, the Vikings pass rush, they're averaging 3.5 sacks a game. So, Darnold, I'm sorry, I think you're going to be hitting the turf quite a bit this week too, especially if Griffin plays, which he's just taking a rest. So,
Yeah, with CMC looking like he may not play, that's really gonna hurt Sam. That's gonna hurt that quick passing game. I don't know, man. I don't like it. I don't like the matchup. I think the Panthers are undermanned, I guess, or overmatched, I will say, in that matchup.
Yeah. Now, I will say that the Minnesota is the 9th ranked scoring defense in the league. They give up only 21.8 points per game. So they've got a good defense. It's not just, fun numbers of sacks. So they don't let people score that often on them.
Yeah, I think their defense is really similar to the Panthers' defense in terms of, what they like to do. And
yeah.
Lately, the Panthers' defense, they looked pretty good last week, but I don't know. That matchup I don't like. This next matchup I like a little more. The Panthers' pass rush versus the Vikings' O-line. Panthers 3.5 sacks a game, around there, a little less. And then the O-line for the Vikings, giving up 4.5% of Cousins' dropbacks are sacks, or 1.8 sacks per game. So a little better than what the Panthers are doing, but still not amazing by any stretch.
No, this is going to be the first quarterback that the Panthers have faced since Davis Mills. I think that's his name, from Houston.
The great Davis Mills.
The great Davis Mills.
Yeah.
That's more of a drop back passer because, again, Dak Prescott, mobile. Jalen Hurts hurt us with his legs like we were afraid of. And Kirk is going to sit back there and he's going to sling the ball. He has great receivers. The O-line's okay. They're not great. So I think this could be a very win for the Panthers pass rush because Burns and Reddick couldn't pin their ear back on 3rd and long and just go after him instead of last week. I really liked what they did with Jalen Hurts in the first half where they were just laying back and kind of containing him. But you can't do that with Kirk Cousins. He'll destroy you.
Yeah, like you said, this is not a guy that you have to worry about running the ball. And they also like to go downfield a lot.
Yeah.
So they've got some longer developing plays. I think this is a matchup that I do like for the Panthers. I think that we could see finally. This is did we get any sacks last week? We got a couple, right?
Yeah, Hassan Reddick got back-to-back sacks.
Yeah, Hassan Reddick got a couple. Didn't get any of the week before, so I'm hoping that this is a game where we can get back to 4 or 5 sacks and sort of control the game that way.
Yeah, I agree. Moving on to another key matchup, Panthers Run Defense, which has struggled the past couple weeks, versus Dalvin Cook and just the Minnesota running game because, like you said, Madison is really good. He's subbed in for Dalvin Cook. The Panthers Run Defense has given up 94 yards per game. I mean, 2 weeks ago, it was to 45 yards per game. And now they're giving up 4.4 yards per attempt. And that's right in line with Dalvin Cook and Madison with their averages. So,
and it's even worse, really, when you think about it, because the last 2 weeks, they've given up like 225 per game.
Yeah.
To Dallas and the Eagles. By the way, the Eagles, I'm sorry, not 225. They only gave up 91 to the Eagles last week, which not too bad. Of course, they gave up 245 to the Cowboys, so that's definitely skews the number a little bit. But this is, the Eagles, like we said, they don't have a great running game. The Cowboys do, and the Vikings do.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings have at least as good a run game as, in terms of skill, as the Cowboys. So, yeah, this one again. I mean, we were able to put the clamps on Kamara when we played the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, a lot of stuff in that game that really went the Panthers' way, but they were able to contain Kamara, and I think the way that the Vikings like to use their running backs is very similar, in terms of running out of the backfield, catching the ball, and both running backs are very quick.
Well, the one thing I will say about
they have the skill players to stop them. I'll say.
Yeah, the one thing that the Dallas Cowboys did that is very well is they loaded the box They had like a one receiver set, a couple tight ends, and they kept jamming it up the middle. And the Panthers kept trotting out a 2 lineman, 3 linebacker, edge rusher type of front, and it was just getting bullied. I read somewhere that they almost surpassed the weight of the lines, where the Panthers were below like 700 pounds compared to the Dallas offensive line, the way they are set it up in the second half. So hopefully Phil Snow learned from that, and if he sees them start trotting that out, we're going to see more of a Bravion Roy, Davion Nixon, Derek Brown type of front with Reddick and Burns on the outside. That way, that middle can be clogged up. And I think Dalvin and Madison are more outside kind of scheme runners instead of directly up the middle. Now, like Christian McCaffrey, they can, but...
Yeah. That's why I think they're more similar to the Kamara style than they are the Zeke style, which, the Zeke style is just come right at you. So, yeah, I think the Panthers may match up a little better against this type of running back, but not going to have Shaq, who is your sideline to sideline guy. That's a big loss for the Panthers. So that's a big matchup. You're right. And then the one of the final matchups here, the Panthers secondary versus the Vikings receivers. Panthers secondary have been playing really well this year, giving up 161 yards per game. The Vikings passing attack 238 yards per game. Kind of mentioned it earlier. Thielen, Jefferson, and then the two backs are just really, really, really talented. This is, the Cowboys had a really good, talented wide receiver core as well.
Yeah.
This is right up there. This is going to be very similar in terms of matchups.
But Dallas didn't pass that well against us either.
They didn't have to.
No, that's exactly right. Honestly, no team has really passed well against this defense. And I'll be interested. Bouye, I always call him Bouye, but AJ Bouye came out on last week, and he looked really good in the slot.
He did.
And I think we're going to see that more. I think C.J. Henderson is playing less than Keith Taylor, and I believe it will continue to stay that way from what Matt Rule has said. And Keith Taylor has proven that's not a bad decision. He's looking halfway decent. It's saying halfway decent, but he's looked good.
Yeah. He hasn't looked bad.
Yeah.
He hasn't looked as bad as he looked last year.
You mean the beginning of the season?
Yeah. Who was I thinking of last year? Someone else. But, yeah, Keith Taylor, he's looked okay. This is just a stopgap, really, until Gilmore can play.
Yeah.
And then we're really gonna see, I think, what this secondary is gonna look more similar to what it did the first few games of the year with Horn out there. Maybe even better, because Gilmore, if he's healthy, is one of the best corners in the league. So it's really gonna be fun to watch at that point.
And Dante Jackson, let's not forget him. He is being one of the best cornerbacks in the league right now.
He is being him, but I'm assuming obviously he's going to be playing opposite of Gilmore, and you're going to have those two. Yeah, they're going to be able to lock down both sides of the field. It's going to be great.
I think Dante is probably one of the top 15 corners in the league right now, and he's playing like it. So, absolutely, I am very excited for Gilmore to come in. Boye to be that secondary will lock players down. That being said, I want to see Jeremy Chin to slide down in the box more this week to stop Dalvin Cook and Madison.
Jeremy Chin's going to have to really step up. They're going to. Well, I'm not going to say he's going to need to step up. They're going to have to use him differently, like you mentioned on the recap show. It's time for him to move down there. It's time for him to be more involved in, certainly in the run game, defense. Yeah, we need to see it. I mean, it's especially with Shaq out.
Yeah.
We need a guy that's fast and physical like Chin to be down there and help boost Carter.
Yeah.
And Reddick. Reddick was playing the Shaq role last week a lot. So, and still was able to get a couple of sacks. So, I'm hoping that they do that. One more matchup. We kind of already talked about it, but, Panthers coaching staff versus the third quarter. You
could throw in third down, too, because they're struggling with that on offense, too.
True. Yeah, I mean, honestly, just want to see some different looks from the Panthers offense this week. I want to see some fun plays. I want to see the guys out there enjoying themselves. I want to see, let's throw it downfield 2 or 3 times in a row. Let's do something to get the offense going.
I just want to see a better scheme. I feel like Joe Brady is not scheming a good game. Sam Darnold has struggled. I know you want to see deep passes. I'm fine going with one of those real quick, but I want him to get comfortable. It seems like he's not getting comfortable in the third quarter, and it's kind of messing up the rest of the game for him from third quarter on. But in the first half, he does a little bit better.
Well, they get him on the move.
Yes.
Obviously, you're not going to just be able to sit in the pocket. Get him on the move, roll him out a little bit, bootleg, play action. Get some of this pressure off of him. Give him a little bit of time. Let plays develop a little bit. And do what you need to do. But we got to do something different.
Yeah.
Because what we're doing, even when we were winning games, we weren't scoring a lot of points. Panthers have not been scoring a lot of points this season. So I want to see this offense opened up a little bit. And I think Sam, I think he's got the talent to do it. I don't know why they're playing so safe with him. We need to see what he is. We need to see what he's got. Because if he's not the guy,
we need to find one.
We need to find the guy. Whether that's trading for Aaron Rodgers or, whatever the case may be, it needs to happen. We need to know, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is year 2 of a rebuild, and you still don't really know about the quarterback position. And that's usually the first thing that teams rebuild try to go do.
And it feels like next year is going to be, the fourth quarterback starting the 4th year in a row. Like that's never a place you want to be as a team.
Yeah.
Oh, well. All right. Any other matchups you wanted to talk about before we move on?
No, I think this is a very, very interesting matchup for the Panthers and the Vikings. The Panthers are kind of struggling. All of a sudden, their just offense is puttering around. The defense has some holes on the run defense. Pass defense still looks good. But the Vikings are trying to feel themselves. They feel like they should be in the playoffs this year. They started off 1-3. They won last week. They're trying to get back in their rhythm here. So,
they barely won last week, by the way. They had to win on a last-second field goal against the Lions, who are not a good team. So, they're 2-3. They could easily be 1-4. I don't think the Vikings are very good. The Panthers should win this game if they're a good team. Are the Panthers?
Are they a good team?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Are the Panthers that team that can play well against bad teams, but can't play well against good teams? We're not really going to find that out this week because the Vikings are a bad team, but they should win this game.
Well, if that's the case, we found out last week when Philadelphia came in and won. I mean, they played bad against.
I don't think Philadelphia is as bad as their record was, just because we looked at their schedule in the first, when we did our preview, and they had faced some really tough teams. So I don't feel as terrible about that loss. I don't think that's I think the game certainly got away from the Panthers. The Panthers should have won that game. But I don't think it's like if we lost to the Lions or something, right? I think the Eagles are, a 6-11 team. Okay. Maybe the Panthers are that too. I hope not, but I think we're going to find out. Beer bet of the week.
Beer bet of the week.
Let's talk about the third quarter, Jerry. Let's just do a third quarter bet. Do you think the Panthers will? Do you want to go score or give up?
Over or under 5.5 points.
For scoring?
Yeah.
Or for giving up?
Scoring. The defense has done decent in the third quarter. So I'm going to say, will the Panthers offense... Will the Panthers offense score 5.5... Well, over under 5.5 points?
Let's do this. Will the Panthers have a positive point differential in the third quarter? Flat or positive?
I will.
You say yes or no.
I am gonna go yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to be positive. No. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'll happily take a tie in the third quarter.
Me too.
So, but yeah, from what I've seen so far, we'll see. Bold predictions, Jerry.
Do you want me to go first, or?
Yeah, go first.
All right. For my bold prediction, I think the Panthers get back on the sack attack, and they go with 5 sacks. At least 5 sacks this game.
That would be helpful. I'm just going to keep riding this horse until it happens. I think Robbie Anderson is going to have his first 100-yard game. He's going to catch a touchdown. Hopefully it's, not just them force feeding the ball to him again. I hope he just, they figure out how to use him this week. But I'm going to go Robbie Anderson has a big game. And
their secondary is not the greatest. I mean, Patrick Peterson's out there, but he's not what he was. Harrison Smith is good at safety, but you avoid the safety. Go.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Game predictions, Jerry. Now, so far, you and I have picked the Panthers to win every single game this season.
We're not homering it at all.
We're 3-2. Are we both going to pick the Panthers to win once again?
I don't know. I've been tossing this game up in my head all day. I'm going 21-20. I'll go Panthers. Fingers crossed. I hope the good team shows up, but if the bad team shows up, I could see it going the other way too.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to buck the trend here. I'm gonna go Vikings to win this game, and hope that I jinx the Vikings, I guess, in the process. So I'll go Vikings 24, Panthers 18.
We want to thank everyone for listening. If you like the show, please let your friends know. Please follow us on Twitter at MeowMix Podcast. If you have any questions or comments, you can email us at mailbag@meowmixpodcast.com. And if you leave us a 5-star review with a comment on Apple Podcasts, we'll read it on the show. Please like and subscribe on YouTube.
We'll be back Sunday afternoon to recap the Panthers' hopeful total destruction of the Minnesota Vikings, or barely squeaking by. We'll take anything to get to move to 4-2. We'll be here either way. So until then, everyone, stay safe out there and keep pounding.